Now let's discuss the answers of exercise 4.1 on page number 24. Underline the verbs in the following sentences. Write T for transitive and I for intransitive. So we have studied that intransitive verbs require an object in order to make a complete sense, and intransitive verbs do not require an object to make a complete sense. Okay, the first one, the snake crept on the floor. Here, of course, the verb is crept, and here floor cannot be considered as an object, because if we ask question to the verb crept where, our answer will be on the floor and not only the floor. Okay, so there is no object in this sentence, so crept is considered as an intransitive verb. The moon rose in the sky. Here the verb is rose. Again, if you ask question to the verb rose where, our answer will be in the sky. Okay, and so here also there is no object in this sentence, so rose is intransitive verb. The sun rays fell upon the wall. Again, the verb is fell, and if you ask question to the verb fell where, our answer will be upon the wall. Okay, so here also in this sentence there is no object, so fell here is considered as an intransitive verb. Next, the fourth one, they shouted. Here only subject and the verb can be seen, there is no object, so the verb shouted is an intransitive verb. I passed through the cave. Here the verb is passed. Now if I ask a question to the verb passed where, our answer will be through the cave. So in this sentence there is no object, through the cave. Cave here is considered as only the preposition, that is object of preposition. Okay, so there is no object here, so past is an intransitive verb. Sixth one, the boy tore his shirt. Here the verb is tore. Tore what? Yes, we'll get the answer which is direct. Yes, that is shirt. Okay, so here the object is shirt. So as a sentence has an object, tore verb is considered as a transitive verb. Tore here is a transitive verb. A green leaf fell off the tree. Here the verb is fell. If you ask question, fell where, our answer is off the tree. So here in the sentence there is no object, so fell is considered as an intransitive verb. Next one, eighth one, the police force sprung into action. Here the verb is sprung, so sprung what? We are not getting any answer. Okay, so there is no object in this sentence, so sprung, the verb sprung is considered as an intransitive verb. Underline the verbs and name the object of each transitive verb. So already in this question it's given that all the verbs are transitive verbs. So as it's a transitive verb, it will definitely have an object. First one, he can drive a car. Here drive is the verb. Drive what? Car. So car is the object. Second one, tell the truth. Tell is a verb. Tell what? Truth. So truth is the object. Put away your books. Here put is a verb. Put what? Books. So books is the object. I shall bring my camera with me. Here bring is a verb. Bring what? Camera. So here camera is the object. Always follow traffic rules. Here the verb is follow. Follow what? Traffic rules. So traffic rules is the object. Sixth one, I saw a chimpanzee in the zoo. Here saw is the verb. Saw what? Chimpanzee. Chimpanzee is the object. Seventh one, the boy easily lifted the weight. Lifted is a verb. Lifted what? Weight. So weight is the object. Eighth one, I knew a funny little man. Here knew is a verb. Knew whom? Yes, a man. Knew what? A man. Here man is the object. Split the given sentences according to the given table. One has been done for you. The first one is already done. He asked her a question. He is the subject, asked is the verb, her is the indirect object, and a question is direct object. Second one, lend me some money. Here in the sentence there is no subject. Lend is a verb, me is the indirect object, and some money is direct object. His mother promised him a birthday gift. His mother is the subject, promised is the verb, him is the indirect object, a birthday gift is the direct object. He offered the servant a raise in his wages. He is the subject, offered is a verb, the servant is the indirect object, a raise in his wages is direct object. She told her children the happy news. She is a subject, told is a verb, her children is the indirect object, the happy news is the direct object. They paid the vendor some money. They is a subject, paid is a verb, the vendor is the indirect object, some money is a direct object. She teaches children English. She is a subject, teacher is a verb, children is the indirect object, and English is a direct object. Indicate whether the verbs in the following sentences are transitive or intransitive. Name the object of each transitive verb and the complement of each verb of incomplete predication. Here what you have to do is you have to identify whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. So if it is a transitive verb, it will definitely have an object. Okay, so you have to mention the object also there, and if the verb is intransitive, yes, whatever word that comes after the verb will become, yes, is complement of the verb. Okay, so this is how you have to do this exercise. Now children, listen here. Yes, there might be some sentences which you may get confused. Okay, for example, in a sentence, if you find an object, if you read the sentence and you will come to easily identify the object, you can come to the conclusion that the verb is a transitive verb. But in some sentence, you might get confused whether it is a complement or an object. At that time, what will you do, children? Yes, so here's a tip for you which is not in your textbook. It's not given in your textbook. It's something, a new information. Okay, it's a new information, so please listen carefully. Children, have you studied about passive and active voices? Yes, now look at this sentence. The dog chased the cat. This is in the active voice. Okay, active voice. The dog chased the cat. Now, how can you make this active voice into passive voice? Look here, the dog chased the cat. The cat was chased by the dog. When it came to passive, what happened? Yes, passive voice. When it came to passive, you can see the object, the subject. Okay, the subject in the active. Okay, active voice became the object in the passive voice. It became the object. and the object in the, yes, in the active voice became the subject in the passive voice. So I hope you all have studied it in the lower classes just as an introduction. Anyways, we'll be studying about it in detail as a chapter itself. Okay, now this is the tip. If you get confused, children, please don't apply this tip in all the sentences. Okay, let me tell you once more. In a sentence, there are sentences where you can directly find the object. At that time, there is no need of applying this tip. Yes, you can easily tell that, yes, the verb is transitive and it has got an object. In some sentences, you might get confused. Okay, at that time, you can use this tip. Yes, how can you identify? Yes, you can try to convert it into passive. If you cannot convert that sentence into passive, it is intransitive verb. That sentence has an intransitive verb. Okay, so anyways, we'll discuss the answers. Now look at the first sentence. The girl had fallen asleep. Yes, which is the verb here? Yes, the verb is fallen. Fallen is the verb. Yes, fallen asleep. Yes, it is a verb. Now you have to find whether this verb is transitive or intransitive. Yes, look here. The word that is coming after the verb. Yes, look, if it is an object, do you think that asleep is an object? No, it's not an object. So you can definitely come to a conclusion that it is intransitive verb. Yes, fallen is intransitive verb and this is the complement of the sentence, of the verb. Okay, so complement of the verb. Now second one, the court had found him guilty. Yes, so which is the verb here? Yes, found is the verb. Found is the verb. Now is there any object given in the sentence? Yes, him, isn't it? Found whom? Yes, him. Okay, so him is the object in this sentence. This is the complement. Okay, asleep is the complement and him is the, yes, object in this sentence. So if there is an object, this verb will become what? Yes, transitive verb. Okay, it is a transitive verb. Now next one, the dog has gone quite crazy. Okay, so here you might get confused. There is no object here anyways, but let's look. Okay, so you might think gone what? Quite crazy. So this, can't this be an object? Okay, quite crazy. So which is the verb here? Yes, the verb is gone. Okay, gone what? Yes, you can tell quite crazy, but there's a confusion, isn't it? Now let's look. Can you convert this voice, this sentence into passive voice? Can you convert? Quite crazy, the dog? No, you can't, isn't it? So you can't convert the sentence into passive voice. So you can come to the conclusion that this sentence has got an intransitive verb. Here gone becomes intransitive verb. So if it's an intransitive verb, the word, yes, quite crazy. Quite crazy will be what? Quite crazy will be, yes, complement. Okay, complement of the verb. Understood? This is how you have to identify. Next one, the boy watered the plants. Okay, here which is the verb? Yes, watered is the verb. Okay, now watered what? Is there an object here? Yes, it's clear, isn't it? Which is the object? Plants. The plants. Plants is the object here. Okay, yes, this is the object. It's clear. Okay, so there is no need of using the tip over there. The object is clear. Yes, plants is object. So this verb will be what? Transitive verb. Yes, very good. Transitive verb. Now the next one, Abhinav speaks the truth. Yes, here which is the verb? Yes, the word speaks is the verb. Okay, speaks what? Again, the truth. Now you might be thinking, can the truth become an object in this sentence? Yes, yes, you can use the tip over here. Yes, can you make this into passive? Abhinav speaks the truth. Yes. How will you make it into passive? Yes. The truth was spoken by Abhinav. Yes. You had changed it into passive voice. So this is transitive verb. If you are able to change it into passive voice, children, this is what? Yes, transitive verb. And the truth. Yes, truth becomes the object in the sentence. Now the sixth sentence, we found grandfather asleep. Here, which is the verb, children? Yes, the verb is found. Okay. So here the object is clear. Which is the object? Yes, grandfather. Found whom? Grandfather. Yes. So grandfather is an object here. Okay. Is an object here. So this becomes transitive verb. Okay. Now the seventh one, Amit became the secretary. Here, which is the verb? Yes, became is a verb. Okay. Now here you may get confused whether if it is transitive, if it is a complement or an object, the secretary. Yes, try to use that tip over here. Can you make this into passive voice? Yeah, no, you can't change this verb, the form of the verb, isn't it? Yes. In order to make it into passive, yes, you need to make some changes in the verb. The secretary, you can't change this verb. So, you can't change this into passive voice. So, what verb is this? Yes, this is intransitive verb, which you cannot change into passive, and this is what? Secretary is the complement of the verb. Okay, it's the complement of the verb. Now, next one, she appears lonely. Here, which is the verb? Yes, appears is the verb. And, yes, lonely, is it an object? No, of course, it's a complement of this verb. She appears. It cannot stand of its own. She appears lonely. So here lonely is what? Yes, complement of the verb, and the word appears is, yes, intransitive verb. Okay, now the next one, the snail crawled on the leaf. Yes, here which is the verb? Yes, the verb is crawled. Crawled is the verb. Okay, now, yes, is there any object? Leaf? Can leaf be considered an object here? Why? Yes, because this object, leaf, is not an object, but it is the object of preposition. Here, did you see the preposition over here? Yes, if you ask, crawled on what? Crawled what? Yes, crawled what? There is no answer. You can't get this answer. Leaf. Your answer will be on the leaf. So here, this leaf, the word leaf cannot be considered as an object here, because it belongs to the object of preposition. So here, it cannot be considered as an object. So on the leaf is what, children? Yes, on the leaf is the complement of the verb. Yes, so crawled is what? Crawled is intransitive verb. So crawled is the intransitive verb, and this sentence you can't change it into passive also. Okay, so that's the thing. Now the 10th one, the last sentence, they opened the box. Yes, here which is the verb? Yes, opened is the verb. Is there any object? Yes, of course, the box. Opened what? Box. So here, box is what? Object. Okay, box is object. So opened is what verb? As it's got an object, it is a transitive verb. And again here also you can change it into passive. No? The box was opened by them. Okay, so I hope you all have understood this. Okay, don't try to apply. Once more I am telling, don't try to apply this tip in all the sentences and make it confused. Children, in a sentence, if you directly come to see an object, consider that verb as transitive. Okay, no need of changing it. In some sentences, you might get confused whether it's a complement or an object. At that time, just see whether you can change that sentence into passive. If you cannot change, it is an intransitive verb, and if you can change, it is a transitive verb. So children, in the last class, we have discussed about transitive and intransitive verbs. So today we are going to discuss about another kinds of verbs, that is finite and non-finite verbs. Now first of all, let's look what finite verbs are. Finite verbs are very essential in a sentence. Okay, it's very important in a sentence. And finite verbs are always closely connected with the subject. Okay, finite verbs will be closely connected with the subject. Now look at some examples, look at some sentences. Okay, stop at once. Here the finite verb is stop. Why? Here, even though the subject is not mentioned, you all know that the verb or the action stop is to be done by the subject. Okay, now in the next the sentence, he tried in vain to escape. Here again the finite verb is tried. Yes, how can you connect? Yes, the finite verb tried is closely connected with the subject. Which is the subject? Yes, he. Who tried? He. So this verb is closely connected with the subject. So this verb tried will be a finite verb. Now next one, the policeman asked him to stop the car. Here again the finite verb is asked. Who asked? Yes, the subject asked. The subject is the policeman. So again it's closely connected. I will complete cooking by afternoon. Here, yes, the verb complete is the finite verb. Okay, who will complete? I will complete. Okay, I will complete. So the subject is closely related with the verb. So this verb becomes the finite verb. So children, I hope you all have understood, isn't it? Yes, finite verbs will be closely connected with the subject, the doer of the action. And finite verb is limited by tense. Yes, what do you mean by limited by tense? Look at these sentences. She comes here once a week. Yes, here which is a finite verb? Yes, comes, because it's closely related with the subject, connected with the subject. Okay, so here comes is the finite verb. Now, what tense is this? Comes means, yes, present tense. So here the finite verb belongs to present tense. Okay, now look at the second sentence. She came here last week. Again the finite verb is came here. Came means what tense? Yes, past tense. So here the finite verb takes place of what? Yes, past tense. Okay, so this is what it's told, that the finite verbs are limited by tense. It can be past tense, it can be present tense or future tense. Finite verbs are also limited by numbers. Yes, what do you mean by limited by numbers? See children, we have already discussed that finite verbs are closely connected with the subject. Okay, so depending on the number of subject, yes, the finite verbs has to change its form. Look at these sentences. The first sentence, the boy speaks well. Here, which is the subject? The boy. And can you tell the number of the subject? Yes, it is singular. Okay. Here the subject is singular. So when the subject becomes singular, definitely the verb must change its form. The verb must be singular. Okay, the boy speaks well. Now look at the second sentence. Those two boys speak fluently. Now you can see the finite verb has been changed. Speaks to speak here. Now look at the subject. Which is the subject here? Two boys. Two boys is the subject here. Yes. Is it singular or plural? Yes, two boys means it's definitely plural. Okay, so as the subject is plural, yes, the verb should also be plural. Okay, the verb changes its forms depending on the number of subjects, whether if it's singular or plural. Whether the subject is singular or plural, the finite verb has to change its form accordingly. Finite verb is also limited by person. First person, second person, third person. Have you heard? Yes, you have studied it in the lower classes. Now look at these sentences. I wake up at 5 o'clock. Now look at the subject. Yes, subject I belongs to which person, children? Yes, first person I. Okay, so here the subject I is first person. So when the subject becomes first person, yes, the verb has to change its form. Okay, I wake up at 5 o'clock. Now look at the second sentence. He wakes up at 6 o'clock. Now there's a change. The first sentence it was wake and the second sentence it is wakes. Okay, so here the subject. Yes, which person is this? First person, second person or third person? Yes, this belongs to third person. He is the third person. As the subject belongs to third person, yes, here the verb changed its form. Okay, it changed from wake, it changed to wakes. So, children, depending on the subject, whether if it is first person, second person or third person, yes, the finite verb has to change its form. So we can say a finite verb is a verb that is limited by tense, number or person of subject in a sentence. Now that's all about finite verbs. Now let's move on to the non-finite verbs. So what are non-finite verbs? Non-finite verbs are the verbs that are not limited by tense, number or person of a subject in a sentence. Okay, now again the non-finite verbs can be divided into three. They are of three types. The first one is participle, the second one gerund and the third one infinitive. Now let's look what participles are. Participles are the verbs that can end with ing, ed, d, en or t. Now let's look at the verb plus ing. Okay, verb plus ing. Look at this example. I saw a man carrying a basket. Here the verb is carry plus ing, carrying. So this is a non-finite verb. Why is it a non-finite verb? Yes, whatever the subject may be, whether the subject be of first person, second person, third person, yes, this verb plus ing is not going to change. Okay, and whether the subject, let it be plural or singular, it doesn't change. Okay, so I saw a man carrying a basket. Here, the participle carrying, okay, represent an action that is going on. Okay, I saw a man carrying a basket. The action that is going on or incomplete. When the action is going on or incomplete, we will use verb plus ing. The participles that ends with ing, okay, verb plus ing, which refers to the action that is going on or incomplete, is known as present participle. And the participles that ends with ed, d, en or t, that refers to the action that is already completed, is known as past participle. Okay, so participle can be divided into two, present participle and past participle. Example for the past participle: blinded by rage, he went out of the room. Second example, the broken vase is on the table. Here the participle refers to the action that is already completed. So that was all about participle. Now let's discuss the second kind of non-finite verbs, that is gerund. Yes, gerund also takes the form of verb plus ing. Yes, we are using the same form in present participle also, isn't it? There, present participle also we are using same verb plus ing. So you all might be asking how to identify a verb, whether it is a gerund or a participle. Look children, in present participle, there was one example. I saw a man carrying a basket. Yes, that was the example that we have discussed. There, the verb carrying, verb plus ing. Okay, verb carrying is an action that is going on or incomplete. So that's why it is present participle. Now look at this sentence. I like reading poems. Here also verb plus ing. Okay, but here, is this verb, is this an action that is going on? No. Is this action that is incomplete? No. Okay, so here the verb has the force of verb and as well as the noun. Now let's discuss the third kind of non-finite verbs, that is infinitive. Infinitives always takes the form of to plus verb. Okay, so it's very easy for you to identify an infinitive in a sentence as it takes the form of to plus verb. For example, to come, to go, to dance, to sing, like that. Okay, now example, look at this example. He refused to obey the orders. So here you can see to plus verb, to obey. So which is an infinitive. To obey is an infinitive. Okay. So the verb that is preceded by to. Okay, that is infinitive. So children, you'll be studying about participle, gerund, infinitive and all in detail later. Okay, it's there as a chapter itself. Now I hope you all have understood the difference, the main difference between, or how to identify finite verb and non-finite verbs. Now let's do one exercise in page number 27. Okay, underline the finite verbs and circle the non-finite verbs in the given sentence. So there's only one exercise for you to do. So do it and we'll meet in the next class.